Hello, welcome to Virtual Yoga. My name is Alexa Newman. I am a librarian at the Algonquin Public Library, and I am a certified yoga instructor and a mindfulness coach. We are going to have another nice stress relieving, anxiety relieving practice today. You might want to get some props to help you, yoga blocks, towels, pillows, bolsters, yoga straps. My philosophy for yoga is that we are working on relaxation and comfort. Props are extensions of our bodies. They are not cheating. A lot of people think using a prop is a cheat, but it's not. It is helping you with functional mobility. So please bring props in and use them as you see fit. We're going to begin our practice in crisscross applesauce, otherwise known as easy seated or Sukhasana. Today I'm using blocks under my knees. I don't have my normal meditation bolster that I sit on, which is a little pillow that raises me a little bit. So I'm using the blocks because I'm feeling a little bit tight up here in my thighs. So get yourself settled. I'd like you to have a straight spine. I don't want you slumping forward or to the sides. Once you're here, relax. Put your palms of your hands either on your knees or placing upwards, whichever feels more comfortable to you, which you're more open to. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. And begin to breathe in and out, gently but steadily through your nose. I want you to feel that breath coming down through your diaphragm, down to your belly, and then coming back out. We're going to begin by trying to let go and relax the muscles in our head. So your jaw, your face, relax. Next, relax your shoulders, your arms. Relax the muscles in your fingers. You may want to open and close them just a minute before you let them flop. Relax the muscles in your back, your abdomen. Relax your glutes, your tushy, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, and your toes. Feel yourself sinking into this pose. Nice, deep, steady breaths. Okay, we're going to transition to our next pose. For this one, you want to feet lengthwise on your mat, so your feet are down towards the short edge. We're going to go into a reclined butterfly. Once again, you may want to have the blocks, and you may wish to have the bolster. Bring that bolster up towards the small of your back. We're going to bend our knees, bring the bottoms of our feet together, and let those knees drop out to the sides as far as they will go. And then we're going to lay back. You may need to reposition yourself just a little bit till you find the optimal position for you. Remember, if you're feeling pain anywhere, come back up out of the pose and reposition yourself using props, but not as intense and as deep into the pose. Once you're here, but I am needing to definitely reposition. Turn your palms so they're facing upwards. And I think I'm going to remove the bolster altogether. There we go. Okay. And there is no exact right or wrong with yoga. Yoga is very much a flow. It's a practice. It changes from day to day, from moment to moment. In each moment, we are different. And just because we were able to do a pose yesterday, or may be able to do it tomorrow, does not mean it is available to us in the moment right now. And one of the gifts we can learn from yoga and from mindfulness is to be content with being in the moment, being present. Except this is where we are at, where you are at right now. Relax. Remember to breathe. Feel your belly rise and fall. Try and visualize that belly button reaching towards the floor. Relax those shoulders, the biceps, the triceps. Relax your forearms. Relax the muscles in your back. Vertebrae by vertebrae. You're loosening up. Release those muscles in the lower back. Many of us carry a great deal of stress in our lower back, and we unconsciously tense those muscles, contract them, so they are tight all of the time. We actually get knots there. That's why our backs go out. Spend some time actively focusing our attention on that part of your body. And imagine, visualize the muscles opening, unlocking, unclenching, untensing. Are you still breathing? Don't forget to breathe. Okay. Let's roll to your side. Bring yourself up and around to a tabletop position. Tabletop is basically hands and knees on the floor. Hands, elbows, shoulders should be stacked directly on top of each other. Knees hip width apart. Your gaze should be looking down towards the floor. Have your fingers spread wide open. That will give you a little bit more balance. And then we're going to do a series of cat and cow stretches. Cow, we drop our belly towards the ground, lift our head up. Cat, arch up, drop your head down. Cow, inhale, look back up. Cat, exhale. Arch a little bit higher. And just continue to do this slowly at your own breath's pace. You may wish to stop for a minute at the top and the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to come down to neutral. Our next pose, and you may want to have the bolster nearby, or a pillow, or a towel. Next pose, we are going to be on our bellies, and it's called half frog. So what you're going to do, and I'm going to start with my right side because that's the side you'll be able to see better, is going to bring the right knee up as high as it'll go, highest is comfortable, with the foot turned out so the big toe is resting on the floor, pinky toes up towards the ceiling, and chest face are facing down towards the ground. You can rest your forehead on your hands. If this is not comfortable or available to you, you can lay on the bolster and kind of drape over the bolster. And that could be more relaxed. For somebody who's looking for a slightly more challenging pose, you could actually go into full frog, which is to have both knees bent. Once you're here, I want you to just relax all your muscles. Release, let go. I'm turning my head towards you so that the microphone can pick my voice up a little bit better. Once you're here, I want you to just visualize your breath circulating through your body. And as it moves through and down to your toes and back up, imagine your body relaxing, the muscles releasing with the breath. With each exhale, you're melting a little bit closer into the floor. If you find your thoughts wandering, acknowledge, let it go, bring your focus back to your breath, being here in the moment. Okay. Bring that right leg back down, stretch it out, wiggle yourself side to side just for a moment. Stretch your arms out in front of you, toes reach towards the opposite walls, and relax. Now, going to bring that left knee up. So we have the symmetry from side to side. Have that left big toe towards the floor with the pinky facing up. I don't want you thinking about what needs to get done later today. I don't want you thinking about what chores have to be taken care of, discussions you've had, ongoing projects. Put all of that aside. Right now, we are outside of time. We are in the moment. All that matters right here, right now, is being in tune with our own body, our breathing, our breath, our muscles. Focus solely on your breathing and the sensation of relaxation. When outer thoughts intrude, it's okay to acknowledge them, realize there's a thought, but dismiss it. It'll still be there at the end of the hour. This hour is for you and your self-care. Do you feel your body sinking deeper into the pose? Maybe you could feel the joint opening up, stretching. You could feel the muscles. You could feel more contact with the floor. It's okay to adjust, to sink more deeply into a stretch. All right, bring that left leg back down. We're going to push up with our hands, up back to a tabletop position. And we're going to bring our knees out to both sides of the mat, and we're going to sink back into wide-legged child's pose. The goal is to try and sit on our heels. Some of us can do this quite easily. For others, it's a struggle. For me, I have never ever been able to sit on my heels, even as a child. So for me, it's just a matter of maybe a millimeter. I could feel myself stretching furthermore. Put your arms out in front of you. If you want to put your forehead to the floor and that's available to you, you can. If you want to rest on a bolster that serves you, go ahead and do that. Okay, we're going to now come back down onto our tummies, and we are going to roll over onto our backs. Okay. Next pose is called Banana Asana. It's a favorite for a lot of you. We're going to start with the left side. Take your left foot, bring it towards the bottom left corner of the mat. Left arm up towards the right top corner of the mat. And then bring that right arm around to meet the left. If you want to deepen it, same thing, bring the right foot towards the left. If you want to deepen the pose, cross the right ankle over the left ankle. Grab hold of your right wrist with your left and get a little bit deeper of a stretch there. Don't forget to breathe. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. You should only be crossing your ankle and grabbing your wrist if you are able to keep both shoulders and both hips bones on the floor. You don't want to be actually lifting off on one side. You want to have contact with both pelvic bones, both shoulder blades firmly on the floor. Relax. We shouldn't be tensing any of these muscles. And the way a stretch feels when you're relaxed can be very different from when you have your muscles tensed, because they're working in the opposite direction. Loosening, relaxing, and allowing yourself to sink into a stretch actually helps lengthen the tendons. It helps break through the fascia, through all that connective tissue. I had to check the timing there. Okay. Connective tissue I was talking about. It's called fascia, and we build up like these little, almost like nets or cobwebs of gummy tissue that holds our muscles together. It's sometimes scar tissue. It protects us, but it can get kind of out of whack and it will overgrow and it will actually bind up joints, and it limits our mobility. It inhibits our mobility. Okay, let's release. Bring those arms up overhead, uncross the ankles, stretch out those toes. We are going to actually stretch to the opposite wall just for a minute before we relax. Rock yourself side to side, wiggle yourself just for a minute until you get fully centered again on the floor. You may even want to lift up your tushy a little bit, reposition. If you have a ponytail, make sure you're not laying right on the ponytail, not the base of your skull should not, or the occipital ridge, which is where your head should be falling. Shouldn't be falling on the ponytail knot that's not comfortable. Okay, now take that right foot, bring that towards the right corner of the mat. Right arm up towards the right corner, top right corner. And then make yourself once again into a crescent or a banana. You want to cross the ankle, grab the wrist to do so. But like if you can observe with me, my hip, my shoulders are not lifting. Both hips are on the floor, both shoulders are on the floor, and the crossing just helps extend that stretch another inch or so. While I'm here, I'm breathing, and I'm trying to relax and consciously acknowledge each part of my body and letting go of those muscles. I was talking about the connective tissue. Like I said, when we don't move, the less we move, the more the fascia has an opportunity to kind of build up, just like, think of a dust bunny at home. Cobwebs, how they will tend to get bigger and fuller and grow if they are left alone. The same thing happens in our body with this connective tissue. When we move, it will lubricate, it'll open them up, it kind of clears them away. When we have an injury, it builds up and it becomes scar tissue. Sometimes it'll get to the point that, you know, your actual joint, you can barely even move a joint. And we can rip through that fascia or the scar tissue, and it could be a very frightening thing when it happens very quickly. This particular method of yoga that we are practicing allows for it to a much gentler, slow progressive loosening of the fascia as opposed to ripping it and tearing it. But if you keep up a regular routine, a regular practice of doing this, you will find through the weeks and the months that your flexibility will increase and your range of motion will increase. It's very definitely a marathon. It's not a sprint. Okay. We are now going to progress on to our next pose. And for this one, we're going to come up to a seated position. So if you want to roll to your side and push up, you could do that. Just like that. For this next pose, you may want a bolster or a strap. I think I'm going to use the strap. We're going to do what's called caterpillar. We did this, I think, just in last week's class. The idea is it's a forward fold. We want to have a nice little micro bend in our knees. I don't want you locking those legs. If you have a tendency to lock, put up a rolled up towel or something underneath to catch, because we could do a tremendous amount of injury to our knees when we hyperextend them. So be mindful of that. It's better to have a little bit of a bend like this than to have it locked and super straight. I'm going to take my strap, put it around the ball mounts on my feet, make sure it's straight. And then the next thing I'm going to do is reach as far forward as I can. And for just for the sake of showing you all with the strap, say that's right here. And then I'm going to hold on. And then I let my arms release, just go limp. And the only thing I'm doing is holding onto the strap. And then I'm going to allow my head to fold forward. If you were more flexible and you want to actually grab onto the bottoms of your feet, you can do that. Once again, have a nice little curve in your shoulders. Allow that face to fall forward. As you exhale, maybe sink a little bit deeper into the pose. Inhale, come out of it just a little bit. Exhale, sink a little bit further in. Take that tongue off the roof of your mouth. Okay, we're going to come back up now. Our next pose, if you're using the strap, we'll go to the strap. The next, you're going to want to have your bolster, most probably. Okay. Next pose is a little bit difficult. It's one we don't do as frequently in this class. Probably the most difficult pose for today's practice. It is called greeting the earth. And we start from caterpillar seated position, but then we twist over to the side like this. So we're actually, what we're trying to do is keep both hips on the floor, and we're trying to twist our torso over. The full pose is to actually be, you see I can't do it, is to have the shoulders here and the hips back that way. And that's almost impossible for me to do. So where I'm going to bring in the bolster, and I'm going to twist, lay that way, and try and have both toes pointing up towards the ceiling. If this is not comfortable for you, you can actually just stay seated and turn so that your hands are behind you. If that's all the further you can go, that's okay too. You want to stay up on your elbow, that's fine as well. Or even lay back on the bolster like that. There are a lot of different ways we can do variations on this pose. Okay, let's come up out of that. That's been like 3 minutes. We're going to try the other side now. Okay. Sit up, side to side, reposition your dupa there. And now I'm going to twist towards, in this case, towards my right side, with twisting towards the left on the other side. And I'm actually feeling a pull up in my shoulder. So for this one, I'm not going to go down quite as far. Okay, let's release. So that one was rough, wasn't it? Okay, now we are going to recline. Bring your feet bottoms up so your knees are bent. You're going to lay back. And we're going to twist in a different way this time. Now you bring your arms out to the sides. So they're in a T with your palms facing up. Want your knees, feet zip together this time. Going to push up just a little bit. Drop onto that left hip. And then we're going to let those knees together fall towards the left side. Are you breathing? You feel maybe your knees moving a little bit closer towards the floor and your right shoulder moving a little bit closer towards the floor as that twist deepens. Okay. Let's bring those knees back up. Feet bottoms on the floor. And let's lift up our bottom, reposition. So everything is even. Same thing, lift up the shoulders just a little bit, reposition. And then we're going to let the knees fall the other side, but first, so bring those feet together, knees together, so there's the legs are zipped. Lift up just a little bit to shift onto the right hip. And then let the knees drop towards the right. And as we relax, maybe they fall a little bit further towards the floor. And with each exhale, we deepen a little bit further into that twist. All right, bring knees back up, feet bottoms flat on the floor. Let's hug those knees in towards our chest. Don't lift up your head though. We're just pulling the knees up towards us. If you're able to lace your hands around your knees, actually lace your fingers together, do that. Hold your shins. If you can't do that, it's okay, just to hold each leg. But our shoulders should be relaxed. Okay, now let's go up and grab those big toes or the outside edges of our feet. Pull those knees towards the armpits for happy baby pose. Once again, once your fingers are hooked around the feet, just relax the arms, let gravity pull and do the work. The gravity, the weight of your arms is what's pulling those feet towards the floor. You want to rock side to side, you can do that. Gentle, doesn't have to be a big rock. Just a nice gentle massage. Come to stillness. Let's bring those feet bottoms to the floor. And we're going to prepare for Shavasana, our final pose for the day. We'll prepare for our meditation. This is a time if you want to get a blanket, put on a sweater or socks, get yourself comfortable, do so. I'm going to sit up so I can read the meditation that I found for the day for you. And this has some thoughts on winter and getting in touch with nature. So getting more in touch with nature can help us find our deeper stillness, especially during the winter season. Within this quietude, we can fulfill our need for a deeper sense of calm. Let's use winter's coolness to shut off your thoughts and send your attention into the present. Then keep it there. Fill your focus with wintry images that have a positive effect on you. Tell yourself that your job is to fill up with good positivity to replace where other elements of your day may have left you feeling drained. Use images and places you already know have this restorative effect on you, or look for new ones. Now, once you begin to feel your mind clearing and recharging, slow down and measure your breathing, counting from 1 to 4 on your in-breaths, and then the same when you exhale. In your mind's eye, take a slow look around at the wintry landscape. Focus on the natural stillness of things, like a pocket of light filling what appears to be random spaces carved out of snow, or stripes of blue-gray light that dip across an open field, perhaps the low gurgle of moving water. Let these images float across your mind. Observe them, but don't disturb them. Just objectively watch them. Look closely and with patience at any one object. As various things, such as thoughts, feelings, or whatever, interrupt your observations, turn them off one by one like a light switch. In fact, use this light switch technique to keep turning off distractions if necessary. This will help you train your mind to stay focused. So repeat it whenever necessary. This component can actually help you get better and better at keeping certain personal distraction patterns away. Now, as you view your chosen object, try to see subtle changes that occur with it from one moment to the next. This takes patience, but you will see, but don't become obsessed, as you will notice naturally. Perhaps the one brown leaf that moments ago was as still as a brush stroke on a painting suddenly stirs, then others, then all seems still again, but not really. Everything is in constant flux, just slowly evolving, flowing into the next moment. Observe this characteristic of acceptance and flow in nature. Feel the peace of the movement. Let it guide you toward the same characteristics in yourself. Observe the intelligence in winter, the new tree in its first winter, or the oldest tree, a bird or a chipmunk, or snow slowly piling atop the mailbox. Even big change is sometimes subtle until you freeze it and look at it closely and examine it. Ask yourself, how does the sky look different this time of year? Now what about maybe a pond or a lake? How exactly do they appear different? Now what about creatures? Visualize all those that are hibernating. Ladybugs, butterflies, bears. Visualize fish alive under a ton of ice. See the microorganisms. Now visualize birds that have migrated and those that haven't. Sometimes when we have too much we are attending to in our minds and lives, even big change is hard to detect. The busyness of life hypnotizes, controls, and impedes. Use the feeling and message of winter's big chill to slow down the drains on your mind and body and to turn up the positivity naturally. Be there to witness the changes that are brewing so that you can successfully navigate them. Now, I invite you to think of all the new and good elements that have entered your life in this past year. Perhaps they're playing underneath the more obvious or the louder programs in your mind. Cooling down and restoring your mental and physical energy can actually help bring positivity into better focus. So have patience. Sometimes all it takes is a quarter of a turn. But once you see it, let yourself feel it, and you could loop it over and over again. Start to flow with it. Now think, if I could create my innermost dream, what would it look like? Be creative. Be free to think outside the box. Try to see this. Slow your breathing. Take a deep breath. Exhale slowly and take a close look. Start growing your dream. Okay, it's time to start coming back. I want you to start by wiggling your fingers and your toes. And maybe make some circles with your wrists and your ankles. Stretch out just a little bit. And then when you're ready, roll onto your side. Hug your knees to your chest. Stay there for a moment. And then slowly bring yourself up to an easy seated position of your choice. Once you're here, I invite you to join me in 3 rounds of sun breath to end our practice. Bring your hands, fingertips out to the sides. Inhale, bring them up over your head. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, and last inhale. Gather positivity, energy, joy, light. Bring it through your vision center to your heart. The light in me sees the light in you. I honor you as you honor me. That is a translation of the word namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. I wish you peace, joy, love, and light until the next time. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.